And I said, you tell them, you spit and we hit. And they can hit real hard. It's a disgusting thing. I've watched that for years, for 4 years. I've watched them. The police are standing, and they're told, don't do anything under any search. So and you can see they want to get at it.
That was Trump yesterday at a press conference announcing that he's deploying federal law enforcement and the National Guard to respond to a quote-unquote crime emergency in D.C. Never mind that during his first term, crime actually increased nationwide. Never mind that it fell during the Biden-Harris administration, and that DC's crime rate is currently at a multi-decade low. Trump went on an unhinged rant about crime because he's trying to distract from his awful track record. Under his watch, prices are going up, job growth is down, and voters are literally booing Republican members of Congress to their face after voting for Trump's budget bill. Oh, and by the way, we keep getting a steady drip of revelations from the Epstein scandal that implicates him and his administration in a cover-up and who knows what else. And while Republicans are fear-mongering by acting all tough on crime, at the end of the day, they stand for the opposite. Republicans are covering for a convicted felon who was found liable for sexual assault and who incited the riot on January 6th, during which hundreds of police officers were violently assaulted. Law and order? I don't think so. I'm Hannah Moldavan, Deputy Communications Director for the Democrats, and your host for today. It's Tuesday, August 12th. Taylor Swift is releasing a new album, and this is the Democrats' Daily Blueprint. This isn't the first time that Trump has tried to act tough by deploying federal police and National Guard units on American streets. Back in 2020, they were used to confront demonstrators who were protesting in front of the White House. Law enforcement officers tear-gassed Americans. Mark Esper, his Secretary of Defense, even wrote that Trump had asked about shooting protesters in the legs at one point. I mean, it's no surprise. This coming from the guy who watched January 6th unfold on TV, and then 4 years later pardoned every single person convicted of violently attacking the Capitol. He didn't call in the National Guard on January 6th, but he did deploy the National Guard earlier this year when he sent units to Los Angeles to address people protesting his out-of-control immigration rates. The situation was being handled by local law enforcement, but that didn't stop Trump from sending in the National Guard, forcing them to sleep on the floor and failing to provide enough food or water at the cost of $134 million taxpayer dollars. In short, Trump ordered service members to deploy for partisan reasons, pulling them away from their homes and families for his political ends. Fast forward to today, Trump is once again crossing lines that no president has crossed before, this time by federalizing DC police. Never mind that his budget bill stripped $1 billion from DC's budget that could have been used to address crime. Never mind that he's on record for the defunding of grants that help police departments hire more officers. Trump only cares about headlines and the appearance of looking tough. He's a 2-bit reality TV star. Addressing public safety takes hard work, smart investments, and community policing to bring down crime rates. Hard work that Democrats all across America are doing every day. In Baltimore, Mayor Brandon Scott has overseen a double-digit decline in gun violence thanks to new reforms and initiatives. And in St. Louis, crime is at its lowest rate in 2 decades, with homicides down 45%. Crime is down across the country because local Democrats are putting their heads down and getting results. Addressing violent crime is serious work. It requires partnership, investments, and serious dedication to the community, none of which Donald Trump is interested in. He just wants us to be talking about crime to shift attention away from his failed record. We've seen this play out before. Trump has been trying to change the subject ever since the Epstein files scandal broke. He fired the Commissioner of Labor Statistics for revealing the labor market had slowed to a crawl. And yesterday, he chickened out on tariffs again by extending an already extended deadline for a US-China trade deal. Trump is throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping it sticks. His latest stunt is more of the same, but it won't work because Democrats are calling out his lies and his failed record on crime. We're doing the work to make communities safer and releasing the Epstein files. In short, we're walking the walk, something that Trump is struggling to do. Thanks for joining us today for this episode of the Daily Blueprint. We'll be here right with you every day during the week at 10 a.m. Eastern on the DNC's YouTube page. Until tomorrow.